First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekah Gwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, and to include the other bishops on down, and Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barak Atham, to all of the brothers that sincerely pushing this truth as the hopeful elect, as we ought to believe that we are, and it's your brother Laban. And so I'm going to just jump right into the topic of discussion that I have in mind, and that it is in the book of Micah 7 and 9, as we're going to begin there. As this reads, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, and he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. And that is the very well thing we have to always be mindful of and come to grips with, is that we have sinned against the Lord. So therefore the Lord's anger against us is what? Justifiable. Hence you get the term indignation, which means righteous anger, and something that is righteous is justified. All right. So there's no need to be thinking about things you had no control over, or even, meditating on why did this happen, and etc., and you're questioning things in your mind, and you want closure, like the Lord, like you over the Lord, and the Most High is supposed to give you some kind of closure or understanding on why. Listen, the Most High don't gotta give you understanding on everything, right? He'll give you the understanding when the time is right, but right now, we have to bear the indignation the way it came, because we sinned against the Lord. As a matter of fact, the Lord has put up a lot with us as a people. All you got to do is check the history out as well as you know, right? And we was back there. We was doing wickedness. So at the end of the day, we don't get to get no damn closure. The Lord gives us closure when he sees fit. We in time out. We gotta bear this hell. This is what it is. Okay. And another thing too, none of us have it in us to think that we're undeserving of this hell. No, we deserve it. Hence is why it's called indignation to begin with in the first place. All right. Because the Lord is angry with us right now. Yeah, the Lord is angry for us for a moment, but the time will come where the Lord will be happy for us because of the righteous things that we've done. But right now we gotta go through it. Okay. Although we've came to behold the majesty of the Lord, but still, we have to pretty much make amends for the wrongs that we have done. And that's why things have happened the way it's happened in our lives as it's doing. All right. And that's just what it is. And if you can't bear the indignation of the Lord, then you cannot be the Lord's disciple, as I'm going to tie this in with as well. Luke 14 and verse 27. And whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. So what do you want to do? Do you want to carry that cross, or do you want that cross to bring you down with it? It's all on you, man. And this video right here is an epistle for all of us to ponder upon, including myself first and foremost. You already know that. All right. So we got to have the right mindset, man. We got to have a better perspective on things. You can look at, as the saying goes, you can look at the glass half full, half empty. It's however you want to look at it. Right. Ephesians chapter 2 and where we at? Verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High. So with faith, by faith, we can do all of these things. We can bear our cross. We can bear the indignation of the Lord, which is the same thing, because every brother's hell is tailor-made for them. All right. So by faith, we can do that. So when you're complaining about your cross consistently, and you're drenched and you're soaked in your complaint, and there's nothing wrong with complaining with the Lord. It's nothing wrong with complaining to the Lord. But if you're constantly complaining and you're not applying balance, and you're allowing your dilemmas that happened past or in the present to get the best over you, then basically you're allowing your cross to bring you to the ground when you should be picking up your cross. Okay. And we over here, we got to operate as men of faith and pick up that damn cross and follow after Yahweh Shai. And in every situation, you apply Yahweh Shai. All right. 2nd Ezra 14 and verse 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man and put off now the weak nature. Case in point, look what was told to Job. Here it is, Job caught all of that hell for a long duration of time, right? And guess what the Most High told him at the end of it? Gird up thy loins like a man. The Lord didn't, come to him and sympathize with him and cuddle him like a baby boy that's, crying in his affliction. No, the Lord told him to gird up thy loins like a man. And as well as I was going to say that the Apostle Paul, right? But as the Apostle Paul said, when I was a child, I spake as a child, but when I became a man, I learned to put away childish things. And it's childish, man, just keep crying about the same thing you had no control over and things that you don't have no control over right now. So if you crying, if it's bothering you that much, what do? You go before your knees and you pray to the Lord of these things, that these things be removed. And if the Lord don't remove it, then you just gonna have to put up with it. All right, because guess what? Whatever you've been putting up with, the Lord gave it to you for a reason. Again, because it's a part of you bearing the indignation of the Lord because you have sinned against him. And it's things that you're bearing because you're able to bear it. That's why you're bearing it right now. Just to include, you bearing the indignation of the Lord, there's things that you're bearing and you don't really want to deal with it, but you're already dealing with it already. So you might as well just continue to deal with it until Yahweh Shai comes back to plead our cause. All right. As this is written. So there you go. So I've read all of that already. So now let's go down over here and let's read this verse 15 to verse 16. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast not seen, or hasn't seen, shall be done hereafter. Exactly. And I don't need to read anymore. That's quite clear. So if you can't get over the hurdle that you got going on in your own mental space, then how in the fuck are you going to get, I'm going to just be blunt and say it the way I need to say it. How in the fuck are you going to get over Jacob's trouble if you can't get over your own hurdle, your own troubles? All right. That's why this reads again, let go from the mortal thoughts and cast away the burdens of man and put off now the weak nature. So the more you think about carnal shit is the more weaker you're going to be, because the carnality is death. Okay. As it is written, flesh and blood will imagine of evil. And as well as is even written in the Apocrypha too, that our thoughts are most uncertain. So we can't get so consumed in our own natural carnal thoughts. We got to think more spiritual. So as I'm going to say bluntly too, is that we got to know how to get our head out of our asses, man, and start thinking more spiritual again, because the spirituality is what's going to lead to life. As well as that's written in the book of Galatians, the 6th chapter. For whatever man soweth, that shall he also reap. All right. If you reap in the spirit, you will reap life. If you reap in the flesh, you will get death. I'm roughly paraphrasing that. All right. That's what's going to happen. So you got to get your mind out of the dirt. And if you don't get your mind out of the dirt, you going in the dirt. Okay. And that's not what we want of ourselves. We don't want to get in the dirt. We want things to go right. So our minds got to be right. Now let's read this as well. Proverbs 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding, as well as it's written, right? That what? The heart is deceitful above many things and it's wicked because it's carnal, which leads to death. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So just like I said earlier before, in every single thing we have to acknowledge the ways of Yahweh Shai, which is the book. Be not wise in thine own eyes, and fear the Lord and depart from evil. Exactly. So that's the thing that we got to do. We got to, again, apply Yahweh Shai. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And I want to tie this in with Psalms chapter 2 and verse 12. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. And that's the guys we want to be. We want to be able to put our trust in our Lord. So if something's bothering us, what do? We go before our knees and we pray. And as a matter of fact, the Lord requires us to pray all the time, as a matter of fact. And that's another reason why guys fall out. That's another reason why guys get suspended. They get all jacked up to a point where, they'll end up leaving the truth, putting the truth behind them. Why? Because they're not fighting the spiritual fight within. They're just allowing shit to just fester and fester and fester. And before you know it, like I said, now they're in the dirt in their mind, and they're in the dirt in their real lives. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say with that. I want to read this as well. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 4. And ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he received. And if you endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. And we don't want to be considered bastards. We want to be considered sons of God. So with being the sons of God, and also being a part of that body that the Lord is holding upon his shoulders, Isaiah 9 and 6, what do we got to do? We got to learn to govern ourselves. That means taking responsibility with what you think, the things that you entertain, and are you measuring yourself after the scriptures? Are you examining yourself? Are you applying Yahweh Shai? There's so many ways I can say this. Okay? So when you do these things, you're showing yourself a son of God. Because it's in the power, in the Most High, that he gives unto his sons to overcome all things that which offends him. Okay? So again, we got to tap into Yahweh Shai, man, through prayer, applying the precepts. And that way, again, we don't offend. We don't offend each other, and we don't offend the one who gave us this knowledge, that called us into this. Let me say that one and better. Okay? We wasn't brought into this faith for condemnation, but unto salvation. So we got to have the mind of salvation. And I might just entitle the video just that. We need to get our head out of our asses. Something along those lines, because it's just what it is. Okay? So that's all I got to say with this. I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son. And giving double honors to the elder apostles as well. The water Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, for all things that he's given unto us, the elder apostles, and his word. And Lord willing, we have the faith to stand the test of time that he has given unto us, to be of that elect. Those that are called for salvation, right? So yeah, giving all the praises and the glory to the Father and as well as the Son, in the name of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. And with that, I'm going to close now, and I say, Shalom. Lord willing, this was edifying.